Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Hello. I have had a very interesting 2016. Very, very interesting. I have to say, even though this year it was a lot, but I have to admit, this was the year that a lot of seeds were planted, a lot of things were planted, a lot of things were put in gear for me. I'm very grateful for it. It was a tough year, but look, it's gonna work in my favor, and I know it will. I know. I've been following someone by the name of Brittany Josephina on social media for a while now. I want to say like 2 or 3 years. I remember stumbling upon her on Tumblr, my first Tumblr, before I deleted my first one. First of all, as a writer, I loved the way she put things into words. So I was drawn to her, clicked that follow button, and I followed her on Instagram, I followed her on Twitter. She continued to be a big inspiration for me. I just love the way she puts things. I always see her passages and her tweets and her posts at the right time. She works for me. I love her. Hey girl, hey. She came up with these 10 questions for, before entering the new year. She posted a picture of the questions on her Twitter, and she had her followers reply. And I saw these questions and I'm just like, reflective questions, anything that causes me to reflect and think back and, take a step back and re-examine my life. I'm all for it. Maybe you can relate to some of my answers, maybe you can't. Before I get into it, if you have not already, subscribe and like this video. Like it anyway, just like it ahead of time. Just be ahead of everybody else, be ahead of the game. Cut the line. Click the little bell next to the subscribe button, so when I do post new videos, you get a little notification on your phone. Hey, am I happy with where I'm at in life right now? Yes, I'll have to say I am, because I'm in a really great space mentally, and I feel very sure of myself. It's crazy. It's amazing. It's a really good feeling. So yes, I'm very happy with my life right now. I'm very happy with where I am, what I'm doing in my mental, spiritual, emotional, physical state. I'm very happy, very satisfied, and I'm always looking for room for improvement. So I'm happy. I am. What am I passionate about? What am I doing to pursue my passion? I am passionate about growth. I am passionate about knowledge. I am passionate about peace, self-care, self-love. I am passionate about helping others. I am passionate about creating. It's very important to me to create things. It's very important to me to help others. It's been shown to me that a lot of people resonate with what I say and what I do. Just me having this YouTube page, me speaking, that's a big deal to me. Just having my voice and speaking my mind and telling my story. It's very important to me. So I'm very passionate about telling my story. I'm very passionate about sharing parts of myself that I feel that are important to share, that I feel compelled to share. That's usually when I'm filming. If I feel compelled to share it, I'm gonna film it because I feel like it's important. I feel like somebody can resonate with it. You feel what I'm saying? So what I'm doing to pursue my passion for growth and knowledge and peace and self-care and self-love and creating things and helping others, writing. I have a poetry book on the way out. I'm also a writer of novels. I'm also on YouTube. I've had a YouTube since 2009, I think. I mean, as far as posting things, I started posting things on my YouTube page when a coworker of mine, I used to work at a church when I was like 15, 16, and I had a coworker who did music, and I was telling him that I sing, and he wanted me to sing right there on the spot, and I was like, no. And I was like, I'll post a video of me singing, and he was like, okay, do that. So that's how I started posting videos on YouTube. I posted a bunch of videos of just me singing. Finished up my little natural hair journey video. Yeah, that got me going. And then I posted that, then I did a hair tutorial thing, and then I decided I wanted to tell my story as far as my depression and anxiety, and that's what really kickstarted, me being very vocal and open, you know, via YouTube. So YouTube is also a way that I'm pursuing my passion because, like I said, it's very important for me to share my story and speak my mind. So this is a very important part of me pursuing my passion. I don't want to talk about everything, but this is very important to me. And anyone who wishes to follow me and, you know, watch my journey and support me, look, hit that subscribe button and press that little bell next to the subscribe button and just keep up with me if you care to. Just saying. Who and what things are weighing me down that I need to get rid of? How will I do it? The person, because there was a person and there was an energy about this person that was in my life that I now do not associate with anymore. And I'm very thankful because this person was blocking so much of my energy, so many of my blessings, so much potential peace and happiness. And I finally separated myself from that person. And there's something very important about not exchanging energy with people that you don't want to associate with anymore, that don't align with where you want to be and where you are in life. So I took it upon myself to not associate with that person anymore. I don't talk to them anymore. I don't, you know, they're actually a very important part of my life, but even those people need a break. Even sometimes you need a break from those people. I was angry all the time. I just wanted to be petty all the time. I was just holding on to a lot of stuff, and I'm really glad that I let that person go in that sense, because I feel better. I really do feel better. I'm more open to things now, but something that's holding me down that I need to get rid of, my inability to be completely vulnerable with people and my inability to be completely transparent with people. I always thought I was very vulnerable and very transparent because I'm sensitive. If you know me for real, look, I cry about everything. Everything hurts my feelings are hurt easily. I feel very deeply about things, about people. I'm very passionate about the people I care about, and it always comes off in a bad way. And once people make it seem like it's a bad thing, I get very defensive, and it just comes out in anger. And look, just a lot of things go wrong. So my defense mechanism is kind of just shutting down, like completely. Like, you know what? Forget it. I don't care, even though I do. But it's just like, if you're gonna be extra about the fact that I care about you, then you know what? I don't care about you. I don't care. That's definitely weighing me down, and I'm actually taking the steps to improve that about myself. Back to YouTube. This is one of the ways that I'm doing that. Because I kind of grew up being told to keep a lot of my business to myself, which, okay, makes sense. Everybody don't need to know every bit of piece of my life, but it was to the point where I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody about my feelings, and I couldn't say anything because that's too much. Don't tell anybody too much of your business, you know. But I always felt like I couldn't be open and I couldn't speak my truth. And honestly, since I've had my YouTube, I'm very more aware of when I'm not being completely transparent with people. I'm aware when, like, I catch myself when I'm trying to water down my feelings. Being on, you know, recording these videos just kind of builds me up in a very positive way, and it gives me this confidence, and it gives me this courage, a lot of courage, to slowly but surely speak my mind with people who matter to me and, you know, mean a lot to me. I think it takes a lot of courage to sit in front of a camera and pour your heart out to people. I think that takes a lot of courage. I'm not saying I just sit here and cry all day, and not yet at least, but it takes a lot of courage to just tell your story and own it. And, you know, there's so many things I can't wait to finally get the courage to share, because there's so much power in our stories, y'all. There's so much power in our experiences, and We're ashamed all the time for even wanting to talk about it and feeling some type of way about it. And you know what? I'm tired of that. So I'm gonna tell my story. What do I need to forgive myself? To be patient with myself. I need patience so I can forgive myself. I need perspective so I can forgive myself. Perspective and patience to forgive myself. And I've forgiven myself for a lot of things, actually. Some days I'm not sure if I have, and I'm not sure what areas I'm not forgiving myself for and what exact. But I know that with patience, because there's the times I'm not very patient with myself and I don't give myself credit. Perspective is so important. Knowledge to forgive myself. I have to keep learning. I have to be patient with myself. I have to gain perspectives. I have to be knocked down sometimes when I'm thinking I know, I'm like, yeah, this is my opinion and this is what I think and this is my view on it. And then I need somebody to say, well, look, check this one out. And I gotta go, okay. Because when you listen to other people's stories and you listen to other people's perspectives, it kind of takes you back to other things. You know what I'm saying? It makes you go, oh, from like old stuff. Like, okay. And having that perspective is just so important. It's so important in my opinion because it makes it easier to be real with yourself, because everything's not like one-dimensional. Life is not just your perspective. There's so many different perspectives, and once you gain other people's perspectives, you'll be able to look at yourself through other people's eyes and realize, maybe that time I did that thing with that person wasn't cool. Maybe I need to check myself really fast. It's just things like that. That's why I think it's so important to be open to other people's perspectives and to be patient with yourself, because it's going to take you some time to understand those other perspectives. Not everybody that's talking about, oh, I'm open, I'm this, I'm that. You didn't just pop out open. It takes time. It takes patience with yourself, because there's a lot of times we do not want to admit that somebody else's perspectives but sometimes it takes a lot of time and a lot of patience to see where somebody else is coming from. And once we see that, it kind of makes us reflect. And once we reflect, we go back for a little bit and we're like, okay, I remember I did that thing and and wow, that was a really shitty thing to do. We always talk about forgiving other people. A lot of times we need to forgive ourselves, because we are so hard on ourselves. That's why I encourage patience and perspective. Okay, my daughter is now in my lap, just so everybody knows what's happening right now. When did I feel most alive this year? What was sacred about that moment? There were 2 times I felt the most alive this year. It was after I let go of that very toxic person from my life, and when I started my YouTube channel. And I don't mean started it when I posted my depression video. My life was flooded with love and support. Ouch. Spoke too soon. My life was flooded with support and love, and it was amazing seeing that shift of energy in my direction, all because I was putting something real and raw out there, and I was putting out this love and this support to others by saying, look, this is my story. We can all be heard. I support you, okay, by shedding my layers and sharing my story with you. And just the reciprocation, amazing. There were people that reached out to me that I never would have thought would have reached out to me and say, look, I've been through that same thing. I'm going through that now. I have inspired people to get up. Like just me just saying, hey, this is what I went through. And we didn't even have to go through the same thing. And that's not even what it's about. It's about knowing that same general feeling. You know what I'm saying? And that solidarity. And people really, it resonated with people. And I thought that was beautiful. It was really beautiful. And I can't wait to share more of those moments by just telling my stories and being honest with myself and being transparent with you all and being very vulnerable, because you're so rewarded when you're honest with yourself, like completely honest, unapologetically honest. You are rewarded, Not trying to be all cool. Don't be all cool like I ain't got no feelings and F everybody and I don't trust nobody. Da, 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 da. No. It's okay to trust. It's okay to feel. It's okay to care. It's okay to love. And I'm understanding that now, and it's beautiful. It feels amazing. What self-love actions can I practice on a daily basis? The main two I do regularly are time to myself and quiet time. They're not the same. They may sound like it, but they're not the same. My time to myself is when I'm not answering phone calls, when I'm not reaching out to people, when I'm not engaging on social media, when I'm not on social media, when I'm just doing things that I like to do. I love to play Sims. I love to write. I love to make lists. I love to map things out. I love to watch Supernatural. I love to watch YouTube videos. I love to do anything that just comforts me. You know what I'm saying? I'm very big on comfort. So time to myself is time to be comfortable with myself, by myself. I need that time alone, which is, as of lately, a lot, because there's a lot of things going on in the universe right now, and I have to recharge all the time. So I always have to kind of tap out. Like, I'm gonna see y'all in a little bit. My quiet time is when I'm quiet, when I'm not talking, but that doesn't necessarily mean time to myself. It can mean I'm leaving my room, okay? So I'm not doing I'm not doing time to myself. I'm leaving my room. I'm engaging with people, but I'm not speaking. I'm listening. Quiet time is when I'm listening. So quiet is listening time for me. Sometimes I'll pick up the phone and I'll let my friend talk more than I talk, or I'll let my family talk more than I talk, or I have people that, it's very interesting when I do have my quiet time that I have people reach out to me for advice. And I always feel like the universe is like testing me, like, okay, you're having quiet time, you have a listening time. Okay, well, so-and-so is about to text you real quick for some advice. Let's see if you're listening. And I find myself helping people during those times, because it means a lot to me to be used in that way, to where I'm helping people. I'm an empty vessel, being filled with knowledge and perspective and patience for people to come to me and say, Brittany, I trust you. Can I speak to you really fast? Can we speak? Can I ask you a question? I need your advice. I need your help. I love that. I love that. So during my quiet time, I'm listening. I'm listening and I'm learning and I'm unlearning things, and it's really beautiful. So yeah, those are my self-love actions that I practice daily. Time to myself and quiet time, and I'm basically just sharpening my listening skills. I think that's very important. It sounds like, oh, you're doing that for other people. No, I'm doing that for me. Hear me out. Being able to listen to someone, take in what they're saying, and having compassion for what they're saying, and being able to understand completely, so you can, in return, give them the advice that they're looking for from a place of compassion, from a place of love, from a place of understanding. I honestly and truly believe that in return, when you give them that, it comes right back to you. You get what I'm saying? I'm setting up myself to receive the same love I put out. That is self-love to me. And it's genuine. It's genuine. It's not me, oh, let me do this, I guess I'm good in return. No, I think it's so important to do good, beautiful things for people so you can get it back. So you can be filled with that. And then when you're filled with that and you acknowledge that, you appreciate it. And it fuels your desire and your, the need to keep doing it, because it's a beautiful feeling. Like, you just want to keep helping people. You want to keep spreading love and spreading, understanding and patience and peace, and you want to put out things that you want people to give to you, and that I give to myself. And I feel like that's another practice. But when I do with other people, I'm able to do it with myself. I talk to myself, and I got to be patient with me, because sometimes, what do I want to let go of? Fear, procrastination, comparisons. And self-doubt. But for me, self-doubt and comparisons go hand in hand, because once you start comparing yourself to people, you start to doubt yourself. And I always find myself having to get off of YouTube sometimes, because I'm like, oh my gosh, she said this and she's wearing that and her makeup is like, nobody's gonna care, and nobody's gonna like send my message because all that crap. None of that matters, and I know that now. But my point is, when you start to compare yourself to other people, you start to doubt yourself, because you're like, oh, they do this and I don't do that, so maybe that's why I blah 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 blah. Like, no. In fear, I was kind of grew up in fear because of how I was kind of raised a little bit. No offense to my parents, but I don't know, I just was scared of a lot of things. It was weird. And procrastination, I'm just a procrastinator, and I'm letting that go in 2006. I'm not carrying that over. I refuse. I don't have time. I don't have time. What do you want to dedicate 2017 to? Discipline, creating, inspiration, self-love, self-care, growth, knowledge, man. Gaining perspective, gaining knowledge, honing the gift that I've not acknowledged this year. I'm very powerful, and I acknowledge that now, and I know that I have a power within me, and it's going to be very important for me this upcoming year to hone in on that and strengthen it and add to it and learn about it and learn about myself and learn about others and speak to others about this new knowledge, this new gift of mine, this everything. It's very important to me to continue to level up. Very important to keep creating, never stop speaking my mind. That's very important to me. What did I learn about myself in 2016? I'm very strong, and I learned that being able to identify the dark parts of myself, being able to identify my shortcomings, is what makes me such a freaking winner. Like, seriously, I'm always winning. I win because I'm able to say, okay, Brittany, you was losing right here because you was being corny. Brittany, you was losing right here because you wasn't being honest with yourself. Brittany, you're losing right here because you're making bad decisions right now. It's so important to me to identify the negative parts of myself, the bad parts of myself, the parts of myself that work against me, so I can find how to make them work for me and better those parts of myself. You know what I mean? You know, I learned that I'm not perfect. I mean, I've always known that, but what I mean by that is, because I know that I'm not perfect, I know now that I can still embrace those parts of me that aren't perfect and have them complement the parts that I feel are beautiful about me. So my ugly and my beautiful, look, they work together. They're who I am. My ugly and my beautiful, my dark and my light. It all works together. There's a balance. I learned that there's a balance. I can't be out here trying to just be the perfect person and, yeah, look at my light. You know what I'm saying? I can't keep trying to prove to people that, yeah, I'm decent. I gotta be honest. I gotta say, look, I've done this, I do this, and it's not all rainbows and butterflies. It's compromise and moves us along. What did 2016 represent to me on my path? This is gonna sound really corny, but 2016 was really the year of realization, and also it was definitely the year of the let go. It was the year of the let go because we had to let go a lot of things and a lot of people. But the beauty about letting go is you gain more in return. So nobody or nothing is ever really lost, because you're always going to get something in return, to not to fill the space, but because, look, you outgrew that, you outgrew them. So here's better, here's greater. Keep leveling up. I've learned that living life with attachments is harmful. So when you live life thinking you gotta hold on to all these different people and all these different things, you kind of just, you drive yourself crazy, because you see yourself falling apart with this person that you just swear you gotta hold on to, and then you finally realize you gotta let them go, and you realize you're happier. So it's just like, look, sometimes, no, all the time, live life without attachments. Not just to people, to vices, to habits, things like that. Just try. That's a different. Live life without too many attachments, because not everything is gonna stay in your life. Some things have to go. Some things are only here to show us something. Some things are only here to teach us a lesson. And if you feel like something is here just to waste your time, that was your lesson. Invest your time in other things. That is a lesson. You know what it is. We always know what it is. We always say, oh, that was out of nowhere. No, there's always signs. Pay attention. Pay attention more and make better decisions. And be more mindful of what you're doing. Definitely this year represented letting go, epiphanies, and living without attachments. Because nothing is mine and some things need to go. And that's okay. I touched on my vulnerability and my transparency. And just briefly, I want to speak on how those two things stuck out to me this year. I always thought I was very transparent, very vulnerable. And this year taught me that I'm not, because I've confused a lot of people. It's hard knowing your heart, but because you don't want people to think of you as weak or think you're trying to get pity from them, you kind of hold on to a lot of things. And now I'm learning that I can be transparent with people. Maybe I don't have the chance to do it with people that I've lost already, but now I know I can do it in the future. I don't have to be scared of my truth. I don't have to be scared of my dark. I don't have to be scared of my light. I should not be scared of any of that. I should own all of that. I should be very proud of all of that. I should not be afraid to cry, even though I cry all the time, but nobody would know because I don't be crying in front of people. But now I realize if I gotta break down and cry, I'm gonna have to do it. I shouldn't be ashamed of that. I should not be ashamed of having feelings, because crying is so therapeutic. Crying is very cleansing. It's very cleansing, and I need to stop holding it in. Once I start to break down those walls and break down those barriers, my life is just gonna open up, and more love and light is gonna flood into my life. So much abundance, so much joy, so much peace, so much beauty. And I can't wait. Like, seriously, I'm excited. I'm excited for my life. I'm excited for y'all's lives. I'm excited for this upcoming year. I'm excited for this upcoming lifetime. I'm excited. And we're all about to prosper. Like, honestly, we really are. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to know that and be confident in that, because I'm very confident in it. These questions were so fun. Like, Brittany, we share the same name. Hey girl, if you don't already, please follow Brittany Josephina, because I really think she's a beautiful person. I love when she pops up on my timeline. I love it. Truly, I really do. And if you don't follow her, if you don't know who she is, I'm putting all her information in the description box. Check her out. Follow her. If she is your zhuzh, if you love her like I do, if you grow to love her the way I do, follow her. Keep up with her. She posts really awesome things, man. Really awesome things. And if you're into, astrology and things like that, she's also really hip to that too. So she posts things like that too. And it's really dope. She's really dope, and she's teaching me a lot, as well as many other people. Guys, thanks for watching. And again, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell next to the subscribe button so you can get notifications from my videos. And I hope to see y'all next year. I love you guys.